Good evening and welcome to the Raw Feed. I'm Gary Franchi. On this historic day 116 of President Trump's return to the White House, we're bringing you explosive coverage that the mainstream media doesn't want you to see. But first, I needed to do something right now. Take out your phone. You know the drill. Text this live stream link to 5 people you trust. Why? Because big tech is actively suppressing our reach. They don't want this information getting out, and the only way to bypass their algorithm is through direct sharing. So do it now. Text this link to 5 Patriots who need to hear the truth, then confirm it by tapping 1 in the chat room. And speaking of truth, we're streaming live right now to millions worldwide across YouTube, Rumble, and X, as well as LinkedIn and Instagram. Make sure you're following us on all platforms, because when they try to silence on one, we'll still be broadcasting on the others. Now, our White House correspondent, Thomas McCullagh, he's been working his stories and sources in D.C. And tonight, we're going to bring you developments that will shake your understanding of what's really happening in this country. We'll expose how a military insider nearly carried out a horrible attack right here on American soil, and the details will shock you. We'll reveal the true scope of California's financial meltdown as billions mysteriously vanish from homeless programs, and wait to hear what Hillary Clinton had to say about Trump's historic Middle East peace tour. Her hypocrisy is simply breathtaking. But what sets the Raw Feed apart is you, our engaged audience. Throughout the show, we'll be featuring your super chats and Rumble rants right here on the screen. Your voice matters, and we want the world to hear it. Plus, between segments, we'll be discussing your real-time reactions to these explosive revelations. So make sure your keyboard is handy so you can weigh in. And let me be clear, maintaining this level of independent journalism is not easy. The powers that be would love nothing more than to shut us down. That's why we need your support. The links are in the description to help keep Next News alive through Give, Send, Go, or through PayPal, whatever you choose. And for those who want to go deeper, join our channel membership program. You'll get exclusive access to our team, behind-the-scenes content, and our members-only Discord chat running 24/7. Plus, you'll receive acknowledgement in our chat room. So click that join to unlock all the perks, and don't forget to check out our merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Show the world that you stand with independent media by sporting our exclusive Next News gear. And speaking of 24/7, we have also just launched our 24/7 Raw Feed live stream. You'll find it right here on YouTube. Yes, so even when this show is off, we will still keep going. So make sure you check it out and say hello to some of your friends in the chat room. Now, coming up, President Trump's groundbreaking Middle East tour, where a $400 million gift from Qatar has sent Hillary Clinton into a tailspin of hypocrisy, the Supreme Court battle that could reshape presidential power forever, a landmark case that exposes the deep state's attempt to undermine executive authority through activist judges, and, of course, that Clinton Foundation scandal you won't believe, how foreign governments funneled millions through speaking fees while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. And our White House correspondent has all of the details. But first, stay with us, Patriots. The Raw Feed starts now. Let's welcome you to the show. Pothead Kenny, Cliff Cook, Overeducated, Heaven's Love, James Fay in the house. Who else is here? We got Mrs. Pothead Kenny, Tony 5150, Joseph Person, Standing Foot, and with Joseph Labasco. We've got Rich from Wisconsin. We've got Truckers Weather. Yes, I got your email. And yes, feel free, by all means, if you want to drop some weather alerts in the chat room, totally cool. You're talking about a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 9:15 Central Time for Porter and Lake County at 8:30 p.m. Central. A severe thunderstorm was located over Ogden Dunes, over Portage, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. Is that, where is that? Is that in Wisconsin? Or I'm not sure where Ogden Dunes is, so you'll probably be a little bit more descriptive. We've also got Scott Hutland in the house, Nevada gal, confirming that they have shared this stream. Did you confirm it? We've got Jeremy Olson, Rayburn Baboof, Stephen Savage, Walter Hundley in the house, Maria Gomez, and who else is here? Let's see who else is here. Walter, we've got JB, Darla Dean, Jen Posen, Roseburg, Oregon in the house. Fox was just gifted a membership from a Watchman. Thank you. Indiana, Truckers Weather confirming that that weather was from Indiana. And Ted Pollard in Merida, Mexico. Mexico? MX? Mexico? Sure You in the house, Virginia Beach, short drive from him. We got Jeff, we got Lynn Kenny, Nestor Chaka, Elaine Miller, Mary B. Crabtree's here, Michael Jones in Virginia Beach, Sean Gunk, what's up, Sean? Who else is in the house? Checking in. Deborah Moller's here. Molly Jean. Sandra Rivas. Mark Strozier. Wow, the whole gang is here. And Bud. Yes, we got Bud in the house as well. Wanda, too. The gang is here. Okay, I could sit here and hang out all night in the chat room, but we do have some important news to get to. So let's get right into it. Good evening, Patriots. Tonight we begin with a story that's sending shockwaves through the halls of power from Washington to the Arabian Peninsula. What unfolded today in Abu Dhabi has left world leaders stunned and military analysts speechless. But it's what occurred behind closed doors with the UAE president that's truly extraordinary. A deal so massive, it's reshaping the global economic landscape as we speak. Our White House correspondent Thomas McCullagh has been tracking the developments all day, and what he's about to reveal will change everything you thought you knew about America's position in the Middle East. We've got all the details, but here's the hard truth. Every 6 years, your dollar loses half its buying power. That means a $100,000 savings account today could feel like $50,000 by 2031. And you see it every time you fill up your tank, you buy groceries, or pay the bills. Prices are up, your dollar's down. But the simple way to protect the value of your savings is with something real, something proven. It's called gold, an asset that holds its value over time, and that's why I trust Noble Gold Investments. They make it simple to protect your savings with physical gold and silver. No high-pressure sales, no call centers, just honest guidance, one-on-one support, and transparent pricing. And right now, when you open a qualified account, Noble Gold will send you a free 10-ounce silver American flag bar. You can see it on the screen as a special thank you. So head to nextnewsgold.com to learn more, or call that number on the screen, 877-646-5347. And when Colin picks up the phone, would you tell the guy that Gary Franchi said hello? Tell him he sent. Or even if you're not buying gold, just prank call him. Do me a favor, prank Colin. Tell him, give him a prank call from Next News. I'm sure they would love it. Okay. We got some breaking news I want to get to before we get to Tom's exclusive report from the White House. But this was just posted by Donald Trump Jr., just James Comey, right here, casually calling for my dad to be murdered. This is who the Dem media worships, and they are demented. And he posts this picture that was clearly from James Comey, the disgraced FBI director, his account on Instagram. And you can see the seashells on the beach there spelling out 8647. And his caption, well, shell formation on my beach walk. Pretty disgusting, isn't it? 8647, of course, that means to get rid of Donald Trump and murder him. Now, here's what's interesting. This is taken very seriously by a lot of people, including Secretary Kristi Noem, who posted this. Disgraced former FBI Director James Comey just called for the assassination of POTUS Trump. DHS and Secret Service is investigating the threat and will respond appropriately. So the former FBI director thinks he can get away with just casually calling for the murder of President Trump, but not so fast. We do have a DHS secretary and FBI director who are now looking into this, so he's probably going to get a knock on his door very soon. Now, I want to get to what happened with this. Donald Trump, barnstorm tour throughout the Middle East, day after day. Clearly, the man is a machine. I don't know how anyone could go through all this, but he's doing it. Historic domination. Trump covers the Middle East with unprecedented $4 trillion investment haul. Military alliance unleashed as next-generation fighter jets announced. Millions of jobs created while deep state media forced to admit his success. 4 million American jobs coming while globalists cry. Qatar, UAE bow to Trump's unstoppable leadership. Let's go to Tom McCullagh at the White House.
So he spoke. Hey, guys, this is Tom McCullagh reporting from the White House with the Next News Network. Let me tell you, President Trump is on fire. He's out there in the Middle East showing the world what real American leadership looks like. And this guy, he's unstoppable. He's visiting our brave troops, he's making historic deals, and he's building a stronger America for me and you. So we're going to dive into the action from today, May 15th, 2025. So first up, Trump kicked off his day in Qatar at the Al Udeid Air Base. This is the biggest U.S. military base in the Middle East, and our president was there to honor the heroes who keep us safe. So he spoke to the troops, telling them how proud he is of their strength and service. And you could feel the energies. Our soldiers love this man. So let's go ahead and take a look at Trump addressing our warriors in Qatar. Go ahead and check this out.
So I'm thrilled to be here with the men and women who embody American strength and pride, the warriors of the United States Armed Forces. It's an amazing group of people. You are, without a doubt, the greatest fighting force in the history of the world. That's the way I said it last night. I said it strong. We have the strongest military in the world. There's not even a contest. We have the best equipment. Nobody has equipment like us. Nobody has the planes or the missiles or anything else. And as your commander-in-chief, I'm here to say that America's military will soon be bigger, better, stronger, and more powerful than ever before.
So I think that's pretty awesome. Trump knows how to rally our troops like no one else, and he makes them feel valued. And he didn't stop there. After Qatar, he jutted off to the United Arab Emirates, where he's still making waves as we speak. The meetings are still ongoing. When he landed in Abu Dhabi, he got a royal welcome for the United Arab Emirates President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. The respect they have for Trump is off of the charts. Here's the moment he arrived. Go ahead and check this out.
Now we're looking at the President of the United States, who is now officially in the final leg of his journey, the United Arab Emirates, where he is being greeted. It looks like inside of what would be a sophisticated hangar where Air Force One pulled into.
You can see American flags there on the right. Yeah, you can see the UAE flags.
So there's no stairs to walk down. He walks onto a platform.
So I think this is the final leg of the trip,
yes,
right?
Yes, it is. They come back tomorrow.
He's been welcomed in.
He's going to be touring and visiting the iconic landmark in Abu Dhabi. He's going to have dinner tonight. And there's going to be an AI roundtable and trade talks a little bit later. The UAE is extremely ambitious. They want to become a semiconductor and AI powerhouse. And as we look for other places to get this outside China, that is music to our ears.
Looks like someone presented him flowers, maybe a child, it looks like. And then we haven't talked about
enough children.
We haven't talked about this morning, the Chinook helicopter sale to the UAE. The State Department approved a possible foreign military sale to the UAE. It would be 6 CH-47F Chinook helicopters worth an estimated $1.32 billion.
So, Ainsley and Brian, it's always interesting when they welcome the president, because each country has done something different. We've gotten camels, we've gotten horses as well to escort the president, and now it was some type of performance that you're seeing there as they have the American flag as well as the UAE.
Yeah, perhaps more than any other Gulf state, the UAE sees investment with the U.S. central to its strategy. It will deepen ties. There will be secures in return, and they have the money to back it up. It's one of the wealthiest countries in the world.
So look at that, pure class. Trump's building bridges with our allies, and it's paying off big time. While in Abu Dhabi, he visited the stunning Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. He walked through the Sahan courtyard with the UAE president by his side, showing the world what unity looks like. This is diplomacy done right, guys. We've been wanting this for years. And let's go ahead and see this moment. I mean, that place is gorgeous, isn't it? And Trump's not just there for photo ops, though. He's working hard for America. During a roundtable in Abu Dhabi, he dropped some major news about our military's future. He's pushing for upgrades to the F-35 fighter jet, a brand new F-55, and a modern version of the F-22. This is huge. Trump's making sure our Air Force stays the best in the world. So here's what he had to say about those jets. Go ahead and check this out.
One of the things for the people that are interested in the military that I asked to look into, the F-35, we're doing an upgrade, a simple upgrade, but we're also doing an F-55. I'm going to call it an F-55, and that's going to be a substantial upgrade, but it's going to be also with two engines, because the F-35 has a single engine. I don't like single engines. Even this man, he's the best in the world at engines, but on occasion, I know you won't admit this, if an engine goes out, it doesn't have 2, 3, or 4. I like the 747. It's got 4. And but today they're getting very big, and it's a little more cost-saving to have 2 very, very big ones. But no matter how good, they tell me, Larry, the engine will never go out. Well, I think it goes out on occasion, very rarely. And we're going to do an F-55, and I think if we get the right price, we have to get the right price. And that'll be 2 engines and a super upgrade on the F-35. And then we're going to do the F-22. I think the most beautiful fighter jet in the world is the F-22. But we're going to do an F-22 super. And it'll be a very modern version of the F-22 fighter jet.
So that's the kind of vision we need. Trump's not messing around. He's building a military that'll keep America safe for generations. But it's not just about defense. It's about he's also bringing in massive money for our country. At the same roundtable, Trump bragged about raising trillions in investment, trillions of dollars. No president has ever done this before. Let's hear him talk about that win. Let's go ahead and check this out.
And we've raised trillions of dollars in investments. There's never been anything like it. And just to finish, we have a country that now has, I think, Howard, we can say that at least $10 trillion of investment and potential investment. And if the administration did $500 billion, it was like a lot. But we did it in 2 months because it's actually a little more than 3 months. But I always say the first month I had to get a little bit acclimated. So I didn't really do this the first, but when we started, so we've really been doing it, Susie, right, for 2 months. So in 2 months, we're going to have over $10 trillion. Nobody's ever come close. No country's ever come close to that.
Trillions of dollars, guys. This is what Trump is bringing to the table. And let's not forget what he said in Qatar earlier. He thanked the emir for investing what could create up to 4 million jobs in the United States. He's even mentioned how AI is a big part of this. Trump's thinking about the future. And here's a moment from Doha. Check this out.
I want to thank the emir because he put up a lot, and in terms of investment, it could amount to 2 million, 3 million, maybe even 4 million jobs in the United States. And more importantly, it's really important stuff. It's tremendous refining capabilities. It's capabilities for very high end. AI is a big subject, and it's a big subject over here too. I always say, what are you investing in? It seems one thing everybody seems to have in common is AI. So I don't know if that's a good thing or bad. Maybe you shouldn't do it because too many people are doing it, or maybe you should follow the crowd, fellas. Okay, so you're going to figure it out.
4 million jobs. That's what he's delivering for hardworking Americans. And here's the best part. He's doing it while the world watches in awe. So during another stop, Trump thanked the media for being fair, saying this Middle East tour is a record breaker. He's talking about raising up to $4 trillion total. No one's ever done this. Let's hear him wrap up that historic moment. Go ahead and check this out.
I just want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank the media. The media, I have to say, has been very fair. They've been very fair. They've been terrific, actually. I was watching some of our, normally they would not say good things, but they're having a hard time saying bad because this is a record tour. There's never been a tour that will raise, it could be a total of $3.5–4 trillion. This just in this 4 or 5 days. And it's from great people. And our relationship now is very strong with Saudi Arabia. Nobody's going to be bothering that relationship. Nobody would be able to break that relationship because of my relationship with the Crown Prince and the family. The relationship is really strong. And when you talk about Qatar, the relationship Is I mean, it's just like nobody's going to break that relationship. We have never had a relationship with Qatar as strong as it is now. You know that better than anybody, and they're very happy, and we're going to protect you. We're going to protect you. That's the one thing you need, maybe, but I don't think you're going to need too much of that. And I said last night, it was a great meeting, great everything. They brought in Lee Greenwood to sing. It was a beautiful evening, and I appreciate it.
And guys, that is a weird tour. Trump's making history and the media can't even find a bad word to say, and he's not even done yet. So let's break this down. Qatar alone is investing $10 billion in the LOD air base over the coming years. That's on top of the $200 million Trump announced in Doha. And add that to the trillions he's pulling in from across the Gulf. And you've got a president who's putting America first like never before. And this Middle East trip is more than just about money, though. It's about security. Trump's meeting with leaders like Sheikh Tamim Al Thani, Qatar, and Mohammed bin Zayed in the United Arab Emirates are strengthening our alliances. He's rejecting the old, failed policies of the past and building a new future for America and the Gulf states. And with those new fighter jets, the F-35 upgrades, the F-55, the modern F-22, the F-45, he's making our military stays #1 in the world. And nobody can top us. Nobody's even close. And guys, this is what leadership looks like. I say this every day. Trump's there fighting for our troops, our jobs, and our future. He's not sitting home in some fancy office. He's on the ground getting it done. And that's why the world respects him. And that's why I respect him. I voted for that. And that's why America loves him. Again, this is Thomas McCullagh reporting from the White House for the Next News Network. We'll keep you updated as the historic trip continues and as more breaks across the day. God bless. Hey guys, this is Thomas McCullagh reporting from the White House.
Looks like a beautiful day in Washington, D.C., and not raining like it was last time. So an amazing report there from Tom. But we got something else here. We got something just in. You know, you may have seen there's some criticism about Donald Trump falling asleep while he was in Saudi Arabia. Well, we do have a report. This just in. We need to dispel some of the fake news.
Deep thinking, smart. They say I fell asleep at a meeting in Saudi Arabia. Fake news. I closed my eyes for 2 seconds thinking, deep thinking, smart thinking. I just flew 12 hours, no sleep, straight into high-level talks. And guess what? I still ran the room. No teleprompter, no naps, unlike Sleepy Joe. They call it dozing off. I call it global strategy. America's back. Stronger, smarter, and wide awake.
That was from the TikTok account Baby Podcast. Clearly AI generated Baby Trump. Absolutely adorable. So there you have it, Patriots, a diplomatic masterstroke that's completely reshaping America's position in the Middle East. But here's the real question that we need to be asking. Why is the mainstream media so desperately trying to downplay what just happened in the UAE? What are they afraid you'll figure out about the true scope of these historic agreements and what they mean for America's future? Share your thoughts in the comments below because we want to hear what you think about this groundbreaking development. Make sure you check out the official Next News Network merchandise at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and show the world you stand with real news. All right, moving right along, we got some super chats that are coming in now. Fast, and it's from Irving. What's up, Irving? Dropping $20. Thank you for that, sir. And I did notice your other $20 super chat I want to acknowledge on our 24/7 live stream that we have just started today. We're going to be peppering that with all kinds of videos from the channel. It'll be open for all of you to participate and check in throughout the day if you just want to have some Next News playing around the clock. So thank you for that, Irving. I saw that super chat earlier. Wanted to make sure that I acknowledge you. Let's continue looking at some of the other messages that have just come in from the main chat room. Gary, the other pimp on a blimp. That's funny. The best news channel out there, says Laurel. Thank you so much. And Mrs. Ray Paul going to be right back. Deb Noble, hey. Okay. What else have we got? Nothing on mainstream media. Looking Glass. Yeah, that's because the mainstream media is not going to report what we're sharing with you. Finally, somebody wants peace, says Missy. Another weather report from Truckers Weather. Severe thunderstorm warning. Cass and Berrien counties, Michigan, until 11 p.m. Eastern. Storms moving northeast, 55 miles per hour. Line of storms approaching from the west of Stevensville. State alert and shelter. That was a minute ago. Thank you for the update on the weather, Trucker. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yes, baby Trump. That was awesome. Okay, let's get into our next topic of the evening. Moving into what happened. Speaking of Michigan, we've got some really troubling news out of Michigan. So we've got a hit from Tom, and then we have our thread that breaks down what happened there. So we're going to open up with Tom, and then we'll get into our piece. Let's move right along. Patriots, what I'm about to share with you will make your blood run cold. When FBI tactical teams suddenly descended on a quiet Michigan neighborhood yesterday, no one could have imagined what they were about to uncover. A seemingly normal young man in our armed forces, and a plot so sinister it has veteran counterterrorism experts shaking their heads in disbelief. Tonight we have details on what the Bureau discovered, how deep the infiltration goes, and most disturbingly, of how many others might still be out there. The evidence they found in that suburban garage will leave you stunned. We have all the details, so don't look away. Now, is your family prepared for the worst? Well, those Michigan neighbors were not. They're shaken after learning the truth about their seemingly peaceful community, and that's why I take collagen daily to stay alert and ready. This breakthrough formula enhances mental clarity and physical readiness when you need it most. The same multi-collagen blend trusted by local law enforcement and military personnel. When seconds count, you need to be at your best, so don't wait until it's too late. Take advantage of our special 51% off Patriot pricing at healthwithgary.com. It's linked below. That's healthwithgary.com for your family's health and security. All right, so this is a huge story. It's been trending all day. We got to bring you the latest. FBI nabbing a plot to slaughter our troops in Michigan. You can see the words on the screen there. President Trump and FBI Director Kash Patel. Tough leadership stops evil in its tracks. No on our radar excuses. America first, scoring a big win today. Let's go to Tom McCullagh at the White House with the latest.
Because of this administration. Hey guys, this is Tom McCullagh reporting from the White House with the Next News Network. And we've got breaking news that'll shock you to your core, but also make you pretty proud of our law enforcement. The FBI just stopped a deadly ISIS terrorist plot right here in America. And they're not saying the famous line, "He was on our radar." They were proactive. Finally. This is a huge win, and it's all thanks to the tough leadership President Trump has inspired. So let's go ahead and dive into this urgent story. I'm going to butcher this name. Ammar Abdulmajid Mohammed Saeed, a 19-year-old former Michigan National Guard member, was arrested this week for planning a mass shooting at his Army base in Warren, Michigan. This is the Tank Automotive and Armaments Command facility, a vital part of our military strength. Saeed wanted to kill our brave soldiers for ISIS, a terrorist group that hates America's guts. He was booted from the Guard in December 2024, but that didn't stop his wicked plans. Here's what happened. Saeed spilled his entire plot to two undercover FBI agents, thinking they were his buddies. He gave them armor-piercing ammunition, magazines, and drone footage of the base to help in the attack. He even showed them how to shoot guns and make Molotov cocktails. Those are firebombs, folks. On May 13th, the day he planned to strike, Saeed launched his drone near the base, but the FBI swooped in and grabbed him. So now he's facing charges for trying to support a terrorist group and sharing information on deadly weapons. If convicted, he could get 40 years in prison, where he belongs. In Guantanamo, hopefully. We'll see. But let's be real. This is massive. Unlike the old days when the FBI would try and say, "Oh, he was on our radar." I mean, there's memes about that, how ineffective they were. This is an entire new leadership. But this time they stopped the threat before it happened. And that's what strong leadership looks like. And it's because of Kash Patel and Trump's push for a no-nonsense approach to terrorism. Our soldiers are safe today because of this administration puts America first, and leaders like Kash Patel are making sure the FBI steps up. And I've got a clip that breaks this down. It's a local news report showing how this 19-year-old plotted to attack our military base in Michigan and how the FBI stopped him in his tracks. Let's go ahead and check this out.
The news of the alleged terror plot has left a Melvindale neighborhood on edge. Our team coverage continues with 7 News Detroit reporter Demetrio Sanders He's in Melvindale speaking to shocked neighbors and friends who know the suspect.
In the Melvindale neighborhood where the suspect was arrested, residents tell me they are stunned to learn that one of their neighbors is accused of planning such an attack. Tuesday on Henry Street, Cora and Melvindale, residents were met by this scene, law enforcement flooding the area while they focused on this home.
I figured it was just somebody breaking the law, but normally you don't see that many FBI people here, so I knew it had to be something pretty serious. So.
Although neighbors were originally left in the dark about what was happening, Wednesday they learned that one of their neighbors, 19-year-old Amar Abdul-Majid Mohammed Saeed, was arrested for allegedly planning a terrorist attack at the U.S. Army's Tank Automotive and our Mammoth Command Facility in Warren on behalf of ISIS.
And I was in total shock to learn that it was one of the kids that, lived there.
Could have been anything, but I wasn't thinking about a terrorist attack or anything like that.
7 News Detroit caught up with Bassem Shaman, a Dearborn man who says he was once a good friend of the suspect.
We do go out. Town Bakery would be a place where would we go park? Me, him, a couple of our friends, chill, talk, do our thing.
He says when he started receiving messages that his friend was arrested for an alleged terror plot, he couldn't believe what he was reading.
And they were talking about, did you hear? What? Like, he was the last person, I swear to God, I could tell you. He was one of the coolest people, chillest people. You could go out with him, you could... his family is also strict. I never expected it to get to this point.
Shaman tells us he believes Saeed lived on Henry Street with his parents and possibly other family. He also says when he was around Saeed, he never showed any signs of being associated or loyal to ISIS.
They got to do so much investigations because I know that guy.
And as residents in the area move forward, they're thankful that law enforcement stopped the alleged plan before it could ever take place.
It's good that they're out there looking and being proactive on this stuff as opposed to wait until it happens.
Shaman also telling me he has no idea what impact Saeed's time in the National Guard may have had on him. In Melvindale, Demetrius Sanders, 7 News Detroit.
Thank you, Demetrius. So it lays it out pretty well. This is what happens when you have a government that actually cares about keeping Americans safe and not DEI initiatives. President Trump's legacy of smashing terrorism is alive and well, and we're all better for it. Saeed's preliminary hearing is set for May 28th, and the Justice Department wants him locked up until then. They're calling him a danger to our communities, and I don't think anybody's going to argue with that, but the Democrats, they might protest a little bit and say he was a Maryland man or a Michigan man. So let's zoom out for a second. ISIS wants to destroy our way of life, but with Trump's influence still driving our law enforcement, we're fighting back and winning. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force and the Army's counterintelligence work together to stop this attack. They're sending a clear message. If you try to hurt Americans, we'll find you and we'll stop you. And that's the kind of strength Trump has always brought, and that's what we need to keep backing his America First vision. And guys, that's it all from now. I'm in front of the Oval Office. This is Tom McCullagh reporting with the Next News Network. God bless. Hey guys, this is Tom McCullagh.
Thank you for that
the
report, Tom. We're going to dive a little bit deeper now into what we know. The plot was foiled at the Michigan military base. 19-year-old traitor planned mass casualties with drones and explosives. There's a photo of him. Let's dive into the thread we've developed here just for you guys. Also on our X account, which is exploding. We have over 3,000 new followers on X, so make sure you're following there. Those just came in today. FBI tanks rolling through a quiet Michigan neighborhood, military occupation in our streets while they hunt one man. Neighbors terrified as FBI turns American town into a war zone. The police state grows while you sleep.
Very, very.
A 19-year-old former member of the Michigan Army National Guard. Fox News' Lauren Edwards with reaction now from his neighbors in Melvindale.
To, come out of your bedroom and see all these cars, not tanks, but cars and everything. It's very scary, very, very.
This quiet block on Henry Street in Melvindale, shaken by the scene that unfolded on Tuesday.
I was going to watch TV yesterday, and I turned around, I was watching that all day. It was better than CSI. It's really good stuff. I mean, it's shocking, scary.
I know it was totally scared when all the FBI, cars were there, and they wouldn't let us know what's going on.
A 19-year-old former...
Let's dive deeper. Insider plot discovered to mass murder Americans at a Michigan military base. FBI's plan says the plan was a year in the making.
Suspect was arrested. Federal officials say the plan was a year in the making. Cameras were rolling as the FBI and state police raided his home in Melvindale. The suspect was arrested and is now locked up. He is facing 40 years in prison. 7 News Detroit reporter Rudolph Sonata is at federal courthouse downtown with how the plan was stopped and the shockwaves this is sending throughout the community.
An intricate plan by a former soldier to allegedly carry out a mass casualty event. But maybe no one is more surprised by this news than the community that he's a part of.
You know, it's abnormal. You know, it's not something that, we expected.
Federal officials say the plan was
nothing they expected. He was a nice guy. Say the neighbors, a perfect sleeper agent hiding in plain sight. Maybe his name would have been a red flag. This is how they work, blend in until it's time.
Neighbors and former friends say they never saw Saeed show any sort of allegiance to ISIS.
He was a nice guy. Never expected it. If I were to probably choose any Melvindale person I know, he would be the last one.
Charges include providing material support to ISIS and distribution of info tied to a destructive device. Federal prosecutors say the former Michigan Army National Guard member actually joined the military to better inform himself on the best form of attack. Those that used to work at the base, like Corinne Forrest, say that part of the evidence is extremely troublesome.
It just goes to show, I guess, that anyone can be radicalized.
Neighbors and former friends say they never...
Anyone, right? Drones over military bases, the technology getting more advanced, planning to live stream it all. Their propaganda machine is hungry.
Federal prosecutors say Saeed informed 2 undercover law enforcement officers under the guise of ISIS supporters of his drawn-out plan, which included flying drones over the base, making Molotov cocktails, and live streaming the assault.
In my 25 years in the FBI, I didn't see a lot of drone activity and prep work. So he clearly had a lot of thought and planning into this potential attack.
Saeed's home in Melvindale was recently raided, and he was arrested on the day of the planned attack Tuesday.
Over 261 plots uncovered in America since 2014. That's what they admit to. The question is, how many did they miss? It's all happening now, the invasion, and they're coming for our bases.
Guard told Melvindale facing federal charges in an alleged plot to conduct a mass shooting at a military base in Metro Detroit.
Federal agents say 19-year-old Amar Saeed planned to do the attack at the TACOM base in Warren. They say the former member of the Michigan National Guard told 2 undercover agents that he planned to do the attack under the direction of ISIS. A review by the National Counterterrorism Innovation Technology and Education Department found at least 261 people in the United States have been charged with ISIS-related activities since 2014. Will Jones joining us live now with how undercover agents helped to stop this attack.
Federal prosecutors wanted Amar Saeed to be held in pretrial detention, calling him a danger to the community and a flight risk. But Saeed didn't put up a fight. He consented to detention.
It's scary that someone was trying to carry out a terrorist attack and they lived right next door to you?
Yes, it is very scary.
19-year-old Amar Saeed of Melvindale had a long-standing desire to engage in violent jihad in an ISIS-held territory or in the United States, according to the criminal complaint. Now he's charged with attempting to provide material support and resources to a designated foreign terrorist organization and distributing information related to a destructive device or explosive. The charges are connected to a planned attack on the U.S. Army's Tank Automotive and Armaments Command facility at the Detroit Arsenal in Warren, a base Saeed had visited during his time in the Michigan National Guard. The plan allegedly included a mass shooting. After Saeed's court appearance this afternoon, we went by his Melvindale neighborhood to hear from those who live near him.
I've seen him just maybe 1 or 2 times. I don't even know if he lived there.
The criminal complaints last month, FBI undercover agents pretending to be ISIS supporters told Saeed they would help carry out his attack. He allegedly supplied armor-piercing ammunition, magazines, and even training on firearms and how to make Molotov cocktails.
Molotov cocktails and drone surveillance, a sophisticated plot.
On Wednesday, Amar Abdul Majid Muhammad Saeed, that's his full name, he was arrested on Wednesday after officials foiled his alleged plan to attack at the U.S. Army's Tank Automotive and Armaments Command facility at the Detroit Arsenal. Saeed recruited 2 conspirators for the deadly attack, who were in fact undercover law enforcement officers. The arrested man provided the duo with armor-piercing ammunition and magazines, flew a drone over the area to conduct reconnaissance, and trained the pair on firearms and how to build Molotov cocktails. He was
So there it is, the disturbing reality of how vulnerable our military installations really are. But this leaves the question. If the FBI uncovered this plot in Michigan, how many other sleeper cells might still be embedded in our armed forces across America? What other states might be harboring similar threats? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because we need to hear what you think about this national security crisis. And check out our official Next News merchandise at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Stay informed and stay prepared. All right, moving right along, checking in on the super chats. Do we have anything else to report there? Sandra has upgraded their membership. What's up, Sandra? Welcome to the upgraded world. And she also dropped $5. Thank you so much. We're at $25 and 00 cents right now, and 2 new members in the community. Welcome, everyone. And you will also now have access to our behind-the-scenes stuff and 24/7 Discord chat room. Would you like a free Slurpee? Overeducated SP. That one was for you, my friend. Wow, good job, Team Trump, winning. He must have got smoked all the time and was holding a grudge. Next news. I haven't eaten anyone yet. I certainly hope not. It's just not. Our military bases in danger, so our electric and water grids, yes, all vulnerable. Another tornado warning from Truckers Weather. Look at that. Until 10:45 p.m. Eastern, Northwest Allegheny and South Ottawa counties, Michigan. 10:02 p.m. Storm near Holland State Park, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Tornado is possible. You know the drill. Darla Dean, these aren't service members. No, these service members need to be vetted insanely and thoroughly. Fundamental Islam does not allow allegiance to the U.S. Constitution. Nightcall is laughing. Sure. Overeducated. Sure. I don't know. Okay. Would you like a slushy with that one? Okay, let's go to topic number 3. This is the big story today out of the Supreme Court. Let's get right into it, because time's a-wasting. Patriots, a battle is raging right now at the highest court in our land, and what happens next could change the very fabric of presidential authority forever. The Supreme Court has done something they haven't done in decades, called an emergency session in May. But why now? What's so urgent that it couldn't wait until October? Well, tonight we reveal what's really behind this extraordinary move and why a single judge in Maryland might hold more power than the President of the United States. Our White House correspondent, Thomas McCullagh, has all the details that will leave you questioning everything. So don't go anywhere. Now, with chronic pain from fighting legal battles, like many attorneys and judges dealing with intense court schedules, joint pain and inflammation can be debilitating, and that's where Dr. Josh's revolutionary turmeric formula comes in. This groundbreaking discovery is 200 times more powerful than standard turmeric, working to reduce inflammation naturally. Before reaching for those painkillers during your next legal marathon, try this remarkable solution. It's helping legal professionals nationwide stay focused and pain-free during lengthy court sessions. Visit goldenrevive.com/NN to discover how this breakthrough formula can help you too. It's linked below. Okay, let's get right into it. We have the latest news from our reporter, Thomas McCullagh, at the White House. And this is about the Supreme Court showdown. Donald Trump battling the deep state judges, trying to protect invasion loophole. Listen.
Or any of the spending. Hey guys, this is Tom McCullagh reporting from the White House News Network. And guys, today's a big day for America. President Trump is fighting hard to fix a broken system, even when he's in the Middle East. And the Supreme Court is hearing oral arguments about his bold move to end birthright citizenship. This is about taking our country back from those who exploit our laws, and Trump is not backing down in typical Trump fashion. So today, the Supreme Court kicked off oral arguments this morning to decide if federal judges can block Trump's plan with nationwide injunctions. According to reports, this could impact over 150,000 kids each year if Trump's order stands. Kids born to people who, and let's be honest, shouldn't be gaming our system in the first place. The injustices are debating whether one judge in some random district can stop a president from protecting our borders. It's a disgrace that this is even a question. He is the commander-in-chief, after all, and the chief executive. So let's take a look what's happening at the Supreme Court right now. I have a clip that covers the heated arguments as the justices tackle Trump's push to end birthright citizenship. Let's check this out.
It's a very fascinating case that's going to be heard, because while the birthright citizenship issue is the vehicle that's getting there, what's at play is really whether or not these judges, of which there are hundreds around the country, a judge in Kansas could affect the lives of a bunch of people in Massachusetts or anywhere else in the country. How do you see this playing out?
Exactly right, Griff. This is about who controls all those, and there's about 675 federal trial judges spread out all over the country. And some of them have been bringing the federal government, bringing President Trump's agenda to a screeching halt, even though they don't have anybody, say, who works for the government or any of the illegal aliens or any of the spending in their own courtrooms. And so what's going on here, I think it's important to understand, is that the Supreme Court is already signaling that they're very sympathetic to the Trump administration. The Supreme Court scheduled oral argument for May 15th. It never hears cases in May. Usually they'd be done their business and they'd be sending out opinions by now. They've called basically a special session in order to hear President Trump's claims that there should not be unlimited nationwide injunctions, but that they should be under the control of the Supreme Court. Whether you agree or disagree with President Trump's order on birthright citizenship, they may not even get to the question, because the key thing here is for the Supreme Court to put an end to these 675 trial judges who all think they can run foreign policy, spending, and hiring throughout the federal government.
Now, earlier today, President Trump took to Truth Social with a fiery post, and he's absolutely right. He said birthright citizenship was meant for the babies of slaves after the Civil War, not for people sneaking across our borders to scam us. Trump pointed out the Civil War ended in 1865, and the law came just a year later in 1866. It's simple history, guys. He's calling out the drug cartels who love this loophole, and he's begging the Supreme Court to see the truth. America is the only country dumb enough to let this happen, and Trump has had enough. And I hope you guys have too. And we're here with you, Mr. President. Keep fighting for us, because this is all stuff that needed to change. And this is it for now for me from the White House. Tom McCullagh with the Next News Network. God bless.
Thank you for that report, Tom. Let's dive a little deeper now. The deep state judges trying to block Trump from saving America. Supreme Court finally fighting back against rogue judges who've been running a shadow government. This is the battle for our republic. Let's dive in. The globalist judge Cabal has been sabotaging Trump since day one. 675 unelected tyrants with black robes stopping our elected president. These district dictators think they can rule from their courtroom kingdoms. The system is rigged. Let's check in with Charlie Kirk's take.
Maryland nationwide injunctions mean that one lone federal judge or a small group of them can entirely block everything the Trump administration wants to do, even if their legal pretext is somewhat flimsy. And that means if something happens in Maryland, they're not just issuing an injunction of the Maryland jurisdiction. All of America must stop the implementation of said law because of what happens in Maryland. It's a nationwide injunction for something where the violation or the thing in question is happening locally. You see, they could create a new parallel court system whose only purpose is handling requests for nationwide injunctions. Nationwide injunctions mean that one lone...
Not going to happen. There were 6 nationwide injunctions under Bush, 12 under Obama, but a staggering 64 under Trump's first term, now on pace for even more. It's not a coincidence. It's coordinated judicial warfare against America first.
Just one state, or the matter of nationwide injunctions. Pretty much instantly after the Trump executive order, a district court judge issued a nationwide injunction. That's where a single district court judge, whose jurisdiction is just one state or even part of one state, blocks a law or order from being implemented nationwide. You see, nationwide injunctions used to be rare. There were just 6 of them under George W. Bush's term. There were 12 of them during Obama's presidency, but there were 64 of them in Trump's first term. And at this current pace, he might top that figure in the first year of his second term.
Birth tourism is real. Foreign nations sending pregnant women to exploit our laws to give birth, go back to China, then return years later claiming citizenship. The 14th Amendment was for slaves, not foreign invaders. Let's check in with the Washington Journal's take.
Still, there is a birth tourism industry where people will pay to come to our shores in their 7th or 8th month of pregnancy when it's still relatively safe to travel, and they will then stay in hospitals until they give birth, and they will go back into their countries. And there are certainly evidence out there that there are some countries, surprised me if it was China, that are in fact sending people here to give birth so that at some point they can take those children who have been living back in China for many, many years and bring them back to the United States and then claim that that the people that are coming back to the United States are in fact U.S. citizens by dint of the fact that they were born on our shores. I believe it is exactly abuses like that among many that led President Trump to enter the executive order that he did.
All right, that's John Mel.
Let's keep going. Trump's executive order would end this abuse, but activist judges have blocked it nationwide. One judge in Maryland can stop what voters in all 50 states demanded. It's not democracy, it's judicial tyranny.
On hold. The Supreme Court is hearing arguments over nationwide injunctions blocking President Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship. 3 federal courts have kept the federal appeals courts, that is, have kept the order on hold, finding it very likely unconstitutional. But President Trump argues the lower courts exceeded their authority. Now he's asking the Supreme Court to lift the injunctions or at least allow the administration to start planning for the change.
Traitors outside of the Supreme Court speaking Spanish while protesting border security. They're chanting down with deportation right in front of the highest court of the land.
We're outside the Supreme Court this morning as the left's anti-Trump protesters are now protesting Trump for his secure border policies. As you can hear behind me, the crowd is chanting, "Down, down with deportation, up, up with liberation." The same have been literally chanting things in Spanish all morning, which is kind of annoying considering we're outside the United States Supreme Court. Stay tuned to Laura Loomer's X account for more exclusive footage of this crazy open borders anti-Trump protest at SCOTUS.
I wonder how many of them are illegal. The 14th Amendment was twisted and perverted by the globalists, meant to free slaves after the Civil War, not for illegal aliens sneaking across the border. Let's check back in with Charlie Kirk.
This concerns birthright citizenship. One of the first orders of the Trump administration was an announcement that this administration is henceforth reinterpreting the meaning of the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment dates back to the end of the Civil War. Its first clause reads, quote, "All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside." Now, the Trump administration announced that from now on, the children of illegal immigrants, tourists, and temporary guest workers are not automatic U.S. citizens. That order didn't take effect, though, and that's the other issue being debated today.
Trump administration correctly argues these nationwide injunctions are a constitutional crisis. They prevent the percolation of novel legal questions and encourage rampant forum shopping. The left shops for sympathetic judges. Here's more.
So far, the Trump administration's attorney has argued the injunctions are a bipartisan problem that has spanned the last 5 presidential administrations.
Universal injunctions exceed the judicial power granted in Article 3, which exists only to address the injury to the complaining party. They transgress the traditional bounds of equitable authority, and they create a host of practical problems. Such injunctions prevent the percolation of novel and difficult legal questions. They encourage rampant forum shopping, They require judges to make rushed, high-stakes, low-information decisions. They create what Justice Powell described as repeated and essentially head-on confrontations between the life-tenured and representative branches of government. And they disrupt the Constitution's careful balancing of the separation of powers.
So far, the Trump administration...
Sotomayor exposing her radical agenda with gun confiscation hypothetical. She's telegraphing the left's plan to take your guns while pretending to defend judicial power.
Here is Can. Selena, what stands out to you from questioning so far? We never know what justices are thinking, but sometimes it's interesting to hear the questions they choose to ask.
Yeah, Diane, well, as you were just outlining, I mean, one of the key questions here is, can an individual federal judge then block a presidential policy nationwide? And the administration here is arguing that the ability to do so creates an unfair playing field, saying, quote, this forces the government to win everywhere while the plaintiffs can win anywhere. Now, Justice Sotomayor had very skeptical response. She had a tough line of questioning. She said that the administration's argument, quote, makes no sense whatsoever, saying that this would not only limit the ability of federal courts, but also the Supreme Court to issue nationwide relief. She also made an interesting analogy, saying what would happen if a new president issued an executive order to take away everyone's guns? She asked if in that case the courts would have to sit back and wait for individuals to sue one by one to challenge the constitutionality of such an order. Now, the administration is also arguing that the 14th Amendment's provision of birthright citizenship at the time of its passage was meant for freed slaves. It was not meant to apply to immigrants to the United States.
Let's keep going. We survived until the 1960s without nationwide injunctions. They exploded in 2007 when the Ninth Circuit started using them for environmental claims. That's the climate cult's gift to the deep state.
Injunctions used. We believe that the best reading of that is what you said in Trump against Hawaii, which is that Wirtz in 1963 was really the first universal injunction. There's a dispute about Perkins against Lucas Oil going back to 1940. And of course, we point to the court's opinion that reversed that universal injunction issued by the D.C. Circuit and said it's profoundly wrong. Now, if you look at the cases that the either party cite, you see a common theme. The cases that we cite, like National Treasury's Employment Union, Perkins against Lucas Oil, Frothingham in Massachusetts against Mellon, going back to Scott against Donald, and all of those are cases where the court considered and addressed the sort of universal, in that case, statewide issue of provision of injunctive relief. So when the court has considered and addressed this, it has consistently said you have to limit the remedy to the plaintiffs who are appearing in court and complaining of that remedy.
So we survived until the 1960s without universal injunctions.
That's exactly correct. And in fact, those were very limited, very rare, even in the 1960s. It really exploded in 2007 in our cert petition in Summers against Earth Island Institute. We pointed out that the Ninth Circuit had started doing this in a whole bunch of cases involving environmental claims.
Environmental claims. Congress could fix this immediately, but they're sitting on their tails. We control Congress. What are they doing all day? Let's check in with Charlie.
And I'm glad there's a lot they could do. There's a lot of good ideas out there, but they might not be necessary. Because an obvious question is this, and this is the fundamental question, and I'm glad we're actually getting this out of the way in the first 6 months of the Trump administration. And I'm glad we're getting it done quick. It's very important. The question is this: if a district court judge's jurisdiction is only over his or her own district, how can they have the power to issue a nationwide order? Arguably, they shouldn't. And that's what the Supreme Court just had in oral arguments today. And of course, we should be clear, Congress could fix this. We control Congress, and we should not let Republicans off the hook. What are they doing all day long? Hello, Congress, get off your tail. Fix this. There's a lot they...
So, the battle is on. This is the wrap-up tweet, as we call it. The battle is on. One lone judge should not have power to block the president. This case will determine if we are a republic or a judicial dictatorship. Stay tuned for massive revelations and follow the Next News Network for the truth they don't want you to hear. There's yours truly at the White House press room. So there you have it. The constitutional crisis is unfolding right before our eyes. But here's what we need to ask ourselves. Why are these activist judges so desperate to maintain their unprecedented power over presidential decisions? What do they fear about turning this authority to where the Constitution intended? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because we want to hear your take on this historic Supreme Court battle. And check out our official Next News Network merchandise at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and stand with the Constitution. All right, checking back in. Super chats as of this report, none. Nobody's got anything to say tonight. Super chats are quiet, but we'll check in with the main feed. Damn right, Jane Doe. Can we not talk about poo? What? Democrats will have to find a new name for their party because the majority of American citizens see them as treasonous. Another severe weather thunderstorm warning until 12 a.m. Eastern. Montcalm, Michigan, issued 10:24 p.m. Storms from the east of White Cloud to near Hudsonville, moving east at 50 miles per hour. Duty just posted some great videos on Discord, gang. Well, why are you promoting Discord, Tom? We have a show now, Tom. This is not time to go play on Discord, sir. This is time to watch the raw feed, sir. Yes, Tom. I just slapped your hand. Okay. Let's keep going. What else is going on in the world today? Moving right along into... Oh, there we go. Squeals a lot. Dropping $10. Looking sharp in that suit at the White House, Gary. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. All right. We got to get into some news. Some nasty stuff we've just uncovered about Gavin Newsom. What's happening right now in California defies belief, Patriots. Cities across the Golden State are suddenly declaring financial emergencies, but that's just the beginning. $2 billion meant for the homeless has simply vanished. $2 billion disappeared. And tonight we're going to show you the paper trail that leads to some very unexpected places. When you see where the money was supposed to go and where it actually went, you'll understand why Gavin Newsom is in full damage control mode. And our investigation reveals a pattern of financial chaos that's about to bring America's largest state to its knees. So don't go anywhere. Now, the question is California's budget crisis raising your blood pressure? Well, you're not alone. The stress of watching billions disappear while taxes skyrocket is affecting millions of Americans' health. And that's why I want to tell you about a breakthrough formula designed to help manage blood pressure naturally. This unique blend of clinically studied ingredients helps promote optimal cardiovascular function without a prescription. While politicians mismanage billions, you can take control of your health. Right now, get up to 40% off plus free shipping and a money-back guarantee at boostwithgary.com. You'll find it linked in the description. Just tap more below this video. Don't let government incompetence affect your health. Now, we have an exclusive report from Thomas McCullagh on the grounds of the White House. Gavin Newsom exposed, blaming others while California collapses. Highest homeless rate as billions vanish. Democrat tyrant point fingers. His state burns, blaming Trump for his communist failures. The globalist puppet can't hide the truth anymore. Let's check in with Thomas McCullagh at the White House.
Step up. Hey guys, this is Tom McCullagh reporting from a very sunny White House today with the Next News Network. So today we're diving into the hypocrisy of California Governor Gavin Newsom. And Newsom, who's been quick to blame everyone but himself for the state's problems, is now pointing fingers at other politicians for the homeless crisis. But let's be clear, California has the highest homeless population in the country, and Newsom, he's been in charge of it for years. So in a recent rant, Newsom expressed outrage that some politicians get reelected despite having districts with rampant homeless populations. He seems to forget he's the governor of the state with the highest homeless population, meaning it's his entire district. It's a classic case of the pot calling the kettle black. So go ahead and check this out.
And I'm just on behalf of the taxpayers of the state, in the spirit of Ashley's question, I'm not interested. I'm just not, as a taxpayer, not just governor, I'm not interested in funding failure anymore. I'm not. I won't. Time to do your job. People are dying on their watch. Dying on their watch. How do people get reelected? Look at these encampments. They're a disgrace. They've been there years and years and years and years. I've heard that same rhetoric for years. People are dying. Kids are being born. Overdoses. I met a young man, literally, was there doing Project Homeless Connect, reaching out near the 405 freeway. I found out the next day he was dead. In the name of compassion, because we had a notice. I could have helped him that night. I felt like a fraud. I felt like I let him down. We got to be more aggressive. I saw a young child, a young kid in San Diego. I was with the mayor of San Diego right before his State of the State. This poor kid was addicted to meth. He was a wonderful kid. And he said, I'm really glad you came. He goes, I'm struggling. And there in the tent with his wife was a newborn baby. He said, thank you for coming. There's no compassion in denying what the hell's going on in the streets and sidewalks. They need to step up. Enough of the rhetoric. I'm serious. Enough of the rhetoric. People are dying in this state. It is a disgrace. It is one of the principal reasons people are so angry. They don't trust politicians. They don't like what they see. I'm sorry to get so intense about it. It's a moral issue. They need to do their job. And if they can't do it, let me know. Just say, we give up. And then we'll intervene. We'll come up with different strategies and different approaches. But I'm sick and tired of all the barriers and all the BS.
So now let's talk about the bigger picture. Under Newsom's watch, California's homelessness has skyrocketed. Despite spending billions, the problem's only gotten worse. And who's to blame? President Trump, of course. He's been hammering Trump from everything from the economy to the budget deficit. But here's the thing. Trump's policies actually help the economy while Newsom's been driving California into the ground. And they only get more money when there's more homeless people. That's why they're not ending it. And guys, this is what happens when you have leaders who cannot take responsibility. Newsom's hypocrisy is on full display, and it's time we call it out. President Trump's policies were talking about making America great again, not leaving states like California in shambles. And that's it for now, guys. This is Tom McCullagh signing off. Till the next one with Next News Network. God bless. Hey, guys.
Thank you for that report, Tom. Let's keep diving deeper. Wall Street Apes just posted this. $2 billion were meant for the homeless has disappeared under Democrats in California. Let's check this out here.
In a state where there is a $70 billion.
Sorry.
So now the LA County Board of Supervisors has essentially defunded. They've taken $300 million away from the Homeless Services Authority. But Bill Essay looks at this and goes, there is $2 billion that is completely unaccounted for, that has just disappeared. And this in a state where there is a $70 billion deficit. So $2 billion, imagine what $2 billion could do for wildfire victims. Imagine what $2 billion could do for unhoused seniors in LA County. That is a lot of money, and that is absolutely gone. So they are going to essentially doge this agency and try and figure out where the money went, when it came in, who it went to, and they want receipts. Now the LA County Board of Supervisors has essentially
diving deeper. Here it is, a 50-person homeless encampment swept in Sacramento, and only 5 accept shelter. One homeless lady wouldn't go to the shelter because they won't take her 3 cats and dogs. How do you be homeless and have 3 cats and dogs? They offered to take a couple animals, but not good enough for her.
of Sacramento.
Why didn't you take the housing on Tuesday?
Because I couldn't have all my animals and they wanted me to choose between them, and I can't do that.
She says she wants to go to a shelter, but there are not options that allow her to bring her 3 dogs and 3 cats with her. So she stays. Caltrans tells us they worked with the city of Sacramento in the weeks leading up to the camp's removal to connect people living here with resources. But a city spokesperson says 5 people accepted a temporary shelter bed. We work really hard behind the scenes to get outreach, to get people to come out, to make those connections. Even on the day of removal, our staff was out here talking to people, trying to help them move their belongings out, not rush.
Keeping right along here, where did all that money go? Lawrence Capello asking the question. Where did all the money go that was granted for the homeless people in California? The homelessness in California is out of control. Show us where the money went and prove it with receipts. Kevin Dalton posted this 13 hours ago. Gavin Newsom is not going to let a little thing like a $37 billion missing taxpayer dollars and 50% of the nation's homeless population residing in California stop him from claiming that California is the national blueprint for homelessness.
If there's any good news, and I'll close on this officially, state of California has seen a decline in veterans homelessness. We have a national model. What Proposition 1 did is it reinforced that model, provided more resources to advance that model, and we're very excited to get those dollars to work.
Yeah, dollars to work for who? Gateway pundit posting Gavin Newsom scales back his plan to provide illegal aliens with free health care as California's financial crisis deepens. Diving deeper, heading into the Gateway pundit, what are they saying? California Governor Gavin Newsom is scaling back his ludicrous pledge to offer free health care to all illegal aliens in the state. His 25-26 budget proposal released on Wednesday includes a freeze on new Medi-Cal enrollments for adults without legal immigration status and imposes a $100 monthly premium for those already enrolled. The freeze will begin in 2026, affecting new applicants over the age of 19. According to Newsom's office, the change will not impact those currently enrolled or those receiving limited emergency or maternity coverage. New premium would apply starting 2027 to all adults with what the administration calls unsatisfactory immigration status, a term that includes both illegal aliens and certain legal residents ineligible for federal Medicaid. Newsom's office says the revised policy is necessary due to a $16 billion shortfall in state revenue, driven in part by ballooning Medi-Cal costs linked to earlier expansions. Yeah, like giving free healthcare to illegals. Yeah, maybe you finally realized that maybe only Americans should be getting financial assistance because we're taxpayers and we pay into the programs. Clip Keeper, California, he says, is an absolute disaster. A quick search shows Democrats have no idea how to budget. Fresno, $20 million plus deficit. Sacramento, $77 million deficit. Oakland, $115 million deficit and danger of insolvency. San Diego, $250 million deficit. San Francisco, $800 to $2 billion deficit. Los Angeles, $1 billion deficit. State of California, $12 billion deficit. And of course, there's only one man to blame, and that's Donald Trump, right?
But in an a report showing the city of Fresno could be facing a budget deficit of over $20 million in 2026.
Sacramento Vice Mayor Karina Telemontes is bracing for a battle ahead to get the city hall budget balanced. Right now, its projected deficit stands at $77 million.
The city of Oakland is on the brink of fiscal collapse unless the city council acts fast. Tuesday, the city's finance team told council members if they continue spending at the current rate, the city will end this fiscal year in June of 2025 with a deficit of nearly $115 million and risk insolvency.
San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria says the city is facing a $250 million deficit.
San Francisco's budget is about to get worse. Right now, the city is facing an $820 million deficit. But in an interview with our media partners at the San Francisco Standard, he says it could be nearly $2 billion.
The city of Los Angeles facing a nearly $1 billion shortfall.
Today, Governor Newsom said that the state is staring down a $12 billion budget deficit. He placed the blame on several issues, including economic uncertainty and President Trump.
President Trump. So there you have it. The financial meltdown that Sacramento doesn't want you to understand, but here's what we really need to ask. Where did those billions actually go? And why is no one in California's government being held accountable for this massive disappearing act? Share your theories in the comments below because we want to hear what you think about what's really happening with California's missing money. Make sure you check out the official Next News Network merchandise at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Stay informed and stay vigilant. Okay, it looks like we have got a super chat. Yeah, baby, finally. Finally, the wallets are opening up here at the Next News Network because we're trying to bring you all the news. And it's the super chatters who keep us alive. What do we got here? Oh, well, no, it was just Squeeze a Lot. That was the last one. I got excited. But I am excited for Juan Ruiz. He decided to show up and open up his heart and gift 10 Next News Network memberships. Donald, sir, what do you think? What do you think about Juan Ruiz and his generosity tonight?
For every one new regulation, 2 old regulations must be eliminated.
I agree. Do you have anything else to say?
I have a running war with the media. They are among the most dishonest human beings on earth.
Okay, one more. You got anything else for us, sir?
I don't frankly have time for total political correctness, and this country doesn't have time either.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for chiming in. We certainly appreciate that. Now, Mr. President, we have to get to a topic that is, I know, near and dear to your heart, and that is Crooked Hillary. Yes, she's back, sir. She's back with a vengeance, and she is criticizing you, sir. Did you know that? Yeah, of course she is. She's got a thing or two to say about that Qatari jet, that nice big 747 that was gifted. Yeah, she's got something to say. But we've got something to say, too. You guys ready for this? Patriots, sometimes the arrogance is just breathtaking, and today Hillary Clinton took to social media with a message. She said, "No one gives someone a $400 million jet for free without expecting anything in return. Be serious." That's what she said. Hillary, yes. The same Hillary Clinton whose foundation raked in millions from foreign governments was Secretary of State. Well, tonight we remind everyone exactly why this might be the most tone-deaf tweet in political history. Our White House correspondent, Thomas McCullagh, has the details from Washington, and I have the deep dive that you will not see anywhere else. The story of this stunning self-own of Crooked Hillary starts now, so don't look away. Now, think the Clinton Foundation's foreign money trail is draining American strength? Well, there is another drain that you need to know about. Every day, your testosterone levels are being depleted by something that you would never suspect. It's not age. It's not stress. It's something much more sinister. Just like following the money exposed the truth about foreign influence, we've exposed what's really destroying men's vitality. The shocking truth is revealed with Test Boost Max. Now, in their eye-opening video, at sculptnation.com/NNN, link below, you will discover what is really draining your masculine power and how to fight back naturally. Now, let's get right into it. Hillary's blood money backfire. There she is, Crooked Hillary. Donald Trump secures $1 trillion in a Qatari jobs pact and a $400 million 747 for America, while Clinton screams quid pro quo, even as her foundation feasted on Saudi and Qatari Monsanto millions. We're going to break it all down in this thread and dismantle her entire cash cartel. Are you ready? Join me. Let's go to the inside scoop first, because Tom McCullagh, live at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, shredding Hillary's Qatar jet tantrum, lining up her foreign millions, rolling some CNN MAGA foundation cash from Saudi Monsanto, and warns, buckle up, the rabbit hole only gets deeper from here.
Hey guys, this is Tom McCullagh reporting from the White House with the Next News Network. And guys, get ready, because today we're diving into a story that'll make you shake your head. Hillary Clinton, the poster child for double standards and corruption, just tripped over her own lies. She tried to smear our incredible President Trump over a jet from Qatar, and it backfired. Good job. So here's the scoop. On Wednesday, the White House dropped news of a massive deal with Qatar, over $1 trillion value. It's a huge win for America, with Boeing and General Electric Aerospace locking in Qatar Airways as a customer, plus a security partnership that strengthens our defense and boosts American jobs. To top it off, the Qatari royal family gifted Trump a $400 million Boeing 747-8, which he plans to accept, per Fox News. So hold on, because this is where it gets good. We've got a video clip showing the donations to the Clinton Foundation and the heat they've taken for fraud and bribery. Let's go ahead and check this out, because it's going to be very relevant in a couple seconds. Go ahead and check this out.
There's no question the Clinton Foundation has received tens of millions of dollars from foreign governments. That includes Saudi Arabia, which gave $14.5 million. Well, the foundation says none of that came while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. But you also have Kuwait donating between $5 and $10 million, Oman, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, all donating between $1 and $5 million over the years. Even the Embassy of Algeria donated $500,000. Is there a common thread? All, of course, are Middle Eastern countries with poor human rights records and poor records when it comes to women's rights. And even with private companies, there's smoke. Monsanto is a U.S.-based global food giant that has been trying to increase its worldwide business in the biotech industry. It's donated between $1 and $5 million to the Clinton Foundation. And while she was Secretary of State, Secretary Clinton made general statements supporting biotech foods as the company was asking for government help to open up new markets. What we have learned is that the foundation said it did fail to disclose a funding source while Mrs. Clinton was at the State Department. That donation, the $500,000 from the government of Algeria. The foundation called the lack of disclosure an error, but again said there was no connection between the donations and the policies of the Clinton State Department.
So Hillary Clinton had the nerve to jump on X, saying no one gives a $400 million jet for free without wanting something back. She told Trump to be serious. But here's the thing. She turned off comments on her post, thinking she dodged the fallout. Nice try, Hillary. The internet's forever, and X users, they don't hold back. So everybody came with receipts, slamming her for the Clinton Foundation's history of pocketing millions while she was Secretary of State under Obama. One user threw her words back, saying, nobody give millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation without expecting favors. Be serious. That was my first thought. So let's break down those donations. A 2012 New York Times report listed the Clinton Foundation pulling in $10 million to $25 million from folks like Gateway's Ted Wyatt, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, shocker, and New Web's Fred Eichhorn. Oh, and who else? The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. That's right, Hillary Clinton was cashing checks from foreign governments while running our foreign policy. Conflicted much? A CNN report also flagged Middle Eastern donors to the foundation. She claims no Saudi money came in during her Obama days, but the facts tell a different story. We have the receipts. So let's get straight. Hillary, whose foundation was practically a cash machine for influence, wants to lecture Trump about a jet tied to $1 trillion deal that helps America. Trump's making moves to put our country first, better jobs, stronger security, and bigger wins. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton's still crying foul about her own record, screams pay to play. And she's still crying about losing the 2016 election and nobody caring what she has to say. And the hypocrisy, it's unreal. And this is why we can't let the left spin their tails. They'll attack Trump while sweeping their scandals under the rug. But the American people are not fooled anymore, and neither are we at the Next News Network. So guys, this is Tom from the Next News at the White House, getting ready to cut out for the day. Have a great one. Hey guys.
Thank you for that report, Tom. And we're going to dive even deeper now. I mean, who else would know better what pay to play is than Hillary Clinton? The blocked comment backfire. Hillary blasted Trump's Qatar jet deal, then killed replies, betting uproar would die. Well, ex-users fired back screenshots of her Saudi Qatar cash spree, proving digital receipts outlive Clinton memory holes. The irony detonated spectacularly. Take a look. This is the actual tweet that she posted. Who reply? Accounts of Hillary Clinton that follows or mentioned can only reply.
Donor list.
And then we have this from MJ Truth Ultra.
Saudi Arabia gave at least $10 million to the William J. Clinton Foundation, a nonprofit created by the former president. Other foreign government donors include Norway, Kuwait, Qatar, Brunei, Oman, Italy, and Jamaica. For the first time since Clinton, then president, started fundraising for his foundation, he has released what his aides call a complete donor list.
Sure.
The globe-trotting Clinton's foundation has been raised as a concern regarding possible conflicts of Saudi Arabia gave at least $10 million.
For sure. And then we got this Squeal by the Creek posting these receipts. Be serious. Nobody gives millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation without expecting anything in return. Be serious. Here are some of the Clinton Foundation donors that they flagged. A USAID, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Stephen Bing, Capreza, Secretary of Technico, Fred Eicher, Frank Gustra, Chief Officer of the Radcliffe Foundation, Tom Galciano, the Hunter Foundation, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Elma Foundation, and Theodore W. Walt. That was a screenshot they gave from the New York Times. Jerry Dunleavy, what did Qatar want from you? Posting a Reuters report, the Clinton Foundation confirmed it accepted a $1 million gift from Qatar while Hillary Clinton was U.S. Secretary of State without informing the State Department, even though she had promised to let the agency review new or significantly increased support from foreign governments. Yeah. So the receipts are there, but I've got even more. Foreign cash is flowing. Western Journal, they dug into the ledgers. Saudi Arabia wired up $25 million, while Hillary wore the Secretary of State pin. Kuwait, Oman, UAE showered millions more like petro confetti. Diplomacy looked less like policy and more like a vending machine. Here is the article from the Western Journal. Hillary Clinton posted about Qatar jet backfires. Blocking comments did nothing to save her. Here it is. You can see $25 million to the Clinton Foundation from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Oh, we get even deeper. The Fox jet defense on Fox. Brian Kilmeade asked the press secretary Caroline Levitt if Qatar's $400 million jet creates IOUs, and she fired back. Listen.
That looks like a clarify that Qatar is giving us a new Air Force One as a personal gift to President Trump. Are they gifting it to the country? What could you tell us about this luxury liner that looks like a hotel in the air?
Well, the Qatari government has graciously offered to donate a plane to the Department of Defense. The legal details of that are still being worked out. But of course, any donation to this government is always done in full compliance with the law. And we commit ourselves to the utmost transparency, and we will continue to do that.
Do you worry that if they give us something like this, they want something in return?
Absolutely not, because they know President Trump and they know he only works with the interests of the American public in mind.
So, Claire.
Pretty cut and dry. Hidden Algeria donation. Did you hear about this? The foundation later found a $500,000 check from Algeria during Hillary's tenure. Never disclosed it to the ethics cops. They called it a paperwork error. We call it cash-coded Morse. Pay up, get policy transparency. Try translucency. Foreign donation slipped the Clinton vetting process. Yeah, it just kind of slipped. We didn't. $500,000 check. Yeah. The Laureate cash loop. 2009, Hillary ushered Laureate University's CEO into a closed state dinner. Soon, Bill banked $16.5 million as an honorary chancellor. Academia became an ATM for the dynasty. Degrees optional, influence guaranteed.
Mrs. Clinton family directly have made a lot of money from for-profit education.
Hillary Clinton's official schedule for August 17, 2009 lists a small private dinner at the State Department closed to the press for experts in higher education. 2 weeks earlier, according to an email first disclosed by the website Inside Higher Ed, Mrs. Clinton emailed Chief of Staff Cheryl Mills ordering her to invite someone from the institution that the secretary called the fastest growing college network in the world, Laureate University.
Clinton family.
And the VIP donor lane. A leak shows that Doug banned pressing Huma Abedin to seat billionaire Gilbert Chuggery after his up to $5 million donation. In Clinton world, philanthropy is access badge. Swipe cash, skip the line, whisper in the policymakers' ears. Here is the article. Yeah, you can see it right here, a little closer. The real scandals of the Hillary Clinton emails. But what's this? Look deeper. Doug Band, a longtime aide to Bill Clinton, who was trying to get a Nigerian billionaire of Lebanese descent named Gilbert Chagari, a major donor to the Clinton Foundation, access to the State Department, pay to play in black and white. Oh, and did you hear about this? The arms sales surge. International Business Times tallied $165 billion in U.S. weapons okayed for 20 donor nations under Hillary, nearly double that of Bush. Jets and bombs swapped for checks dressed as charity. The Clinton Bazaar turned taxpayers into global arms merchandisers. Here is the International Business Times headline. Clinton Foundation donors got weapons deals from Hillary Clinton's State Department. Yeah, let's keep going. We got even more. Heady quid pro quo. FOIA emails from Quake Relief labeled applicants as FOB, Friends of Bill. Donors got first flights while Haitians waited in tents. Disaster became a VIP lounge where contributions, not need, decided who boarded the rescue plane. FOBs, Friends of Bill. ABC News, how Hillary's State Department gave special attention after the Haiti quake. And President Trump shooting back earlier this week when ABC asked if the luxury jet was personal. Trump firing back.
The free jet.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you? Why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why not?
Only ABC, well, a few of you would. Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us, I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much. You know, there was an old golfer named Sam Snead. Did you ever hear of him? He won 82 tournaments. He was a great golfer. And he had a motto, when they give you a putt, you say, thank you very much. You pick up your ball and you walk to the next hole. A lot of people are stupid. They say, no, I insist on putting it. And then they putt it and they miss it. And their partner gets angry at them. You know what? Remember that, Sam Snead. When they give you a putt, you pick it up and you walk to the next hole and you say, thank you very much.
Respectfully, sir, as a businessman, some people may look at this and say, have you ever been given a gift worth millions of dollars and then not received anything?
It's not a gift to me. It's a gift to the Department of Defense. And you should know better because you've been embarrassed enough, and so has your network. Your network is a disaster. ABC is a disaster.
Yeah, he tells it like it is, schooling the reporters. Oh, what about Uranium One? Moscow-linked investors sent $2.35 million to the foundation. Bill nabbed $500,000 for a speech, and the state okayed Russian control of U.S. uranium. If that isn't door-prize geopolitics, what is? The hypocrisy glowing bright. New York Times even covered it. Cash flowed to Clinton Foundation amid the Russian uranium deal. Let's keep going. Oh, what about the Boeing donor loop? 2011, state cheered a $29 billion F-15 sale to Saudi Arabia, while Boeing wired $900,000 to the foundation and paid for speeches. In Clinton math, every warplane was a tax-deductible charity write-off, explosive philanthropy, literally. Washington Post, for Hillary Clinton and Boeing, a beneficial relationship. Oh, and the UBS sweet settlement. Swiss bank grilled by IRS until Secretary Clinton brokered a deal. Donations then jumped tenfold, and Bill pocketed $1.5 million for Q&As. Looks less coincidence and more preferred discount in political banking. Here is the Guardian headline. After Hillary Clinton helped settle tax case, UBS increased foundation support. And the Haiti park scam, going back to Haiti, Cheryl Mills pushed a $300 million industrial park, aiding pal Dennis O'Brien's Digicel. Jobs promised, few delivered. Donors got photo ops. Earthquake victims got slogans, while elites collected rent. Disaster relief turned into a carnival. Politico magazine posting this: the king and queen of Haiti. There's no country that more clearly illustrates the confusing nexus of Hillary Clinton's State Department and Bill Clinton's foundation than Haiti, America's poorest neighbor. The linchpin: a $300 million, 600-acre industrial park financed by U.S. taxpayer money, an Inter-American Development Bank, and geared towards making clothes for export to the U.S. Clintons were instrumental in nearly every step of its creation. The development program Bill Clinton came to sell as UN Special Envoy, written by Oxford University economist Paul Collier, had garment exports at its center. So Bill Clinton's foundation getting mad cash for that one. And then here it is. You want more proof? Here it is. Donation crash proof. Post-2016, the influence gone. Foundation revenue plummeted 88%, $249 million to $29 million. If access wasn't the product, why did the customers flee? Markets whispered the truth. They bought power, not philanthropy. The ledger never lies. Tax records show the Clinton Foundation lost $16.8 million in 2018 because they were no longer holding any position of influence. And, of course, the speaking fee gold. Bill scooping $26 million from banks, pharma, and ministries seeking deals before the State Department. Amazing how a reminiscence costs six figures when your spouse wields policy pens. It wasn't storytelling, it was power influence karaoke. For the Clintons, speech income shows how their wealth is intertwined with charity. So the disclosure hole widens despite an ironclad pledge. Millions from Algeria, Qatar, and others slipped in unreported until the watchdogs cracked the books. Clinton ethics wall was Swiss cheese. Holes everywhere. Faint corruption, odor, and zero nutrition. Senator Mullen, though, torching a reporter tying the Qatari gotcha. Mullen firing back that the Statue of Liberty was foreign too, and schools reporter on the Air Force One.
Concerns. Excuse me, Senator. Could I get your reaction to Trump doubling down on accepting the $400 million jet from Qatar?
I have zero issue with it.
You have zero issue with it?
Zero.
Do you think it raises ethics concerns or national security concerns?
You ever been to New York and saw the Statue of Liberty? That was a gift too.
Do you have any safety concerns about, this coming from a foreign government? And
So you know anything about safety and our security and our intel? Do you know anything about it? So do you think we're really going to take a plane and not strip it and put all the Air Force Ones in, even if it came brand new from the factory? If you don't understand that basic knowledge, then you probably shouldn't be reporting on it.
Yeah, you just got smoked. So, would Hillary Clinton return the Statue of Liberty? Is that what we're supposed to do now? Yeah. So if you enjoyed this deep dive expose, buckle up because we're just getting started. Make sure you follow the Next News Network on YouTube and X for more explosive investigations, receipts, and reality check that torch the spin cycle. Hit follow, share, and keep the pressure blazing every single day. And there is yours truly at the White House hitting the beats. So there it is, the height of political hypocrisy caught in real time. But here's what we need to ask ourselves. What made Hillary Clinton think she could post that tweet without the whole world remembering her own foundation's foreign donation scandal? Did she really believe people forget about the millions that poured in from overseas while she was Secretary of State? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because we want to hear your take on this epic backfire. And make sure you check out our official Next News Network merchandise at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and stand for truth. All right, Sandra Rivas dropping $5. What's up, Sandra? Thank you for your support, and Squeeze-A-Lot dropping $10. We're down at we just hit $50 solid even tonight. Awesome. What is he saying? Whispers, word on the street. There were special firefighting planes available to help with California Palisades fires. California never called. Kind of surprised why there wasn't an investigation or charges. Interesting point. Tyson Curie saying Hillary, who sold America's nuclear uranium to Russia, allowed enemies to hack her laptop computer with classified top secret information on it, getting paid behind the scenes. Tyson says, put that traitor in prison. Loyalty to truth. We love you, Gary. Well, we love you, loyalty. Scott's Thoughts channel, look over there. There's nothing to see here. Jeremy Olson, here at a hospital for a family member. Sorry to hear that, Jeremy. We wish them a quick and speedy recovery. Lori Godfrey, bless her heart. It's fine, Ray. That's just Gary's sense of humor. What did I do? Did I milk? I don't know. Maybe I did. Okay, let's keep rolling right along here and check on what's happening in the world today. This just in 5 seconds ago, Vigilant Fox posting. Things are different this time around. You can't threaten Trump's life anymore and expect the intelligence agencies to look the other way. James Comey tried, and Tulsi Gabbard isn't letting it slide. She says he knew exactly what he was doing. Then she made a vow. Then she made a vow that could mark the beginning of a new era of accountability. Let's see what she said here.
The former FBI, are you buying that the former FBI director didn't know what 86 Trump meant?
Absolutely not, Jesse. That is a ridiculous and insane statement to make, certainly within this context, but especially coming from a guy who's the former director of the FBI, a guy who spent most of his career prosecuting mobsters and gangsters, people who know and execute other humans and use this exact lingo of 86. Comey himself admitted in his follow-on message that he knew that this was a political statement. Well, the only reason he knew that, Jesse, was because a little over a month ago, a bunch of anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk protesters were proliferating the use of this 8647 slogan, which was a veiled call to action to murder the sitting president of the United States. So for Comey to think that we, the American people, are so stupid as to think that he, as a former FBI director, former prosecutor, and someone who clearly pays attention to what's going on, would believe his lie that he didn't know what this actually was calling for. The dangerousness of this, Jesse, cannot be underestimated. When we have 2 assassination attempts on the president's life, when we have people who look to guys like Comey, who've been celebrated by MSNBC and the Democrat elite and CNN as the beacon of integrity, the law and order guy, the guy who would tell the truth no matter what the consequences. This is the guy who's issuing a hit on President Trump, the president that the American people voted for. So it's guys like Comey and others who call the president the modern day Nazi, people who are in great positions of influence, who are saying that President Trump poses an existential threat to our country. These are people who hate democracy and hate the American people because they cannot stand that the people overwhelmingly chose to elect Donald Trump and send him back to the White House. So they are seeking other means to get their way and to try to remove him from that position.
Are you disgusting? Absolutely disgusting what's happening right now. Let's keep going. See if there's any other news to speak of here. Love that picture. Let's see. Notre Dame faces a challenge to tax-exempt status with DEI inquiry. Rudy Giuliani was on a show. President Trump with American troops earlier today. We played that. 8647, that is all over X right now. Zach Henry says he's activating the sleeper cells. Okay, so that's the show tonight. Thank you for joining us, and what a show it's been. Let's recap what we've uncovered tonight on this historic day 116 of President Trump's return to the White House. We started with that groundbreaking diplomatic breakthrough in Abu Dhabi, where behind closed doors deals were struck that are reshaping America's position in the Middle East. The mainstream media doesn't want you to understand the true significance of what just happened in the UAE, but you heard it here first. Then we revealed chilling details of that FBI raid in Michigan, where agents uncovered a terror plot that has counterterrorism experts on high alert. The question remains, how many other sleeper cells might still be out there? Then we expose the unprecedented Supreme Court showdown over presidential power, with the highest court in the land taking the extraordinary step of calling an emergency May session. The implications for executive authority are staggering. And then in California, we showed you how billions of taxpayer dollars meant for the homeless have simply vanished while cities across the state plunge into financial crisis, and the numbers don't lie. And finally, we witnessed perhaps the most stunning self-own in political history as Hillary Clinton's tweet about that $400 million jet crashed straight into her own foundation's history of foreign donations. Yes, the internet never forgets. I want to thank all of you who participated in tonight's show through your super chats and your Rumble rants. Your engagement makes the Raw feed truly special. And remember, this kind of independent journalism only exists because of your support. And if you value what we do, consider helping us by keeping the truth flowing at the link in the description. Give, send, go, or through PayPal. Every donation helps us fight back against those who want to silence independent media. And don't forget to visit shop.nextnewsnetwork.com to show your support for real news, and tell a friend about the Next News Network. Your word of mouth is our best defense against big tech, censorship, and special thanks to our White House correspondent, Thomas McCullagh, for his reporting tonight. And Patriots, we will be back tomorrow with more explosive revelations and more truth the mainstream media won't touch. Until then, stay vigilant, stay informed, and keep fighting for the truth. This is Gary Franchi for the Next News Network Raw Feed. Good night, but don't forget, we've also got our 24/7 feed. It's live, and it's still going. We'll see you at the next one. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi.